is video from the search scene where 7 bodies were found today in Oklahoma, Henrietta, Oklahoma, just east of Oklahoma City. This is in Okmulgee County. So the background here is that officials are saying that 7 bodies were found on this rural property here in Henrietta, Oklahoma, as they were searching for 2 teens. Earlier today, a missing endangered person advisory was issued after 14-year-old Ivy Webster and 16-year-old Brittany Brewer were reported missing. The 2 were reportedly seen traveling with a convicted sex offender. The Oklahoma Highway Patrol then canceled that Amber Alert this afternoon. So this is an overhead shot of the rural area in which investigators were searching, again, looking for 2 missing teens, but instead they found 7 bodies on this property. We did hear from officials very briefly earlier today. I want to play out that sound for you now.
Investigate, what happened and, try to identify any perpetrator and just do that. I mean, that's with any investigation such as this.
How would you describe your feelings right now, or even OSBI's, with how grave this all is?
Well, anytime someone loses their life, that's a serious situation. So that's about the best way to describe anybody's role in anything, is to say that, it's something where somebody has lost a life.
Has McFadden had any criminal history, or has OSBI been aware of him before?
I couldn't comment on that. I don't know.
Will you be investigating if there was anything leading up to this, if there were any warning signs with McFadden?
Well, no, as far as warning signs, don't know about that. We'll just they'll be looking into every aspect of the investigation that's pertinent to the crime and everything. But as far as the tactics or strategy, couldn't comment on that.
Do we know when more details will be released about the victims?
Well, again, the biggest thing on the victims is, I think, what you guys are interested in are the identities, ages, things like that. So really, that information truly comes from the medical examiner.
Okay. Well,
will he be speaking to us at any point?
I have no idea. You'd have to contact the medical examiner on that one.
It's just a little unusual to have this many deceased. And we know McFadden and the 2 teens, but we don't know who the others are in relation to them,
Okay. Well, as far as the relation, I mean, there's a relationship somehow, but as far as discussing who is what relation, that's not going to be discussed right this moment.
Will you be coming forward with any more information about the condition in which these bodies were found?
Well, again, we talk about the condition of the bodies. That's really the medical examiner and their investigation of the individuals.
A minute ago, you used the word perpetrator, but just to be clear, there's no one else being looked for at this point. There's nothing outside this land right here that's you're not looking for someone.
Well, okay, I said perpetrator. Maybe I just need to stand corrected on that. Perpetrator or perpetrator, because there's still evidence being processed. So if it leads to anyone else, of course, those will be followed up on. So, not to say there's any more people involved, but just so to answer your question, I'll say perpetrator or perpetrators.
Well, I just want to be clear. There's no threat to the public. That's what the sheriff had said earlier.
Yeah, there is no threat to the community as we know it at this time.
What do you think the community of Henrietta needs to know most?
Okay, would you repeat that?
What does the community of Henrietta need to know most at this time from law enforcement concerning all of this?
Well, just like I said, there's no suspect at large that we are looking for right at this moment. So that's the most important thing, is that there's no one else out there that we're looking for at this time. So there's no threat to the community.
At this time, do you believe McFadden is the one who killed everyone?
Who did any part of this? That's again subject to the investigation. So we're a ways from having that completed. So there's no way to answer that question right now.
You don't have McFadden in custody, do you?
Excuse me?
Do you have McFadden in custody?
Huh?
Do you have McFadden in custody?
There's been no arrest in anything right now.
Okay, a short update here from officials in Oklahoma after those 7 bodies were discovered during a search of a rural property near the town of Henrietta. again after police were initially looking for those 2 missing teens. A very sad story coming to us out of Oklahoma, just east of Oklahoma City. We'll continue to follow this here.